Peptides are being sold as the safer, smarter alternative in bodybuilding. But almost nobody's honestly talking about the pros and cons. That's exactly where people get misled. So let's slow this down and break it apart properly.
Your own. You dug down deep into the well of motivation. You gotta whip yourself up into a motivational lather. Come on, think about what you like the most. What stimulates you? What motivates you? Get it up.
Right now, peptides are one of the most talked about topics in bodybuilding and fitness. They are everywhere. On podcasts, social media, locker rooms. They're often described as not steroids, natural, or just optimization. And while some of that sounds reassuring, it also creates a false sense of safety. This video is not about telling you what to do. It's about laying out the actual pros and cons of peptides, without the hype, without fear-mongering, and without pretending there is no trade-off. First, let's be clear about what peptides actually are. Peptides are short-chain amino acids that act as signals in the body. They don't replace hormones the way anabolic steroids do. They influence biological processes by telling the body to increase or decrease certain responses. That can include things like growth hormone release, recovery signaling, tissue repair, sleep quality, appetite, and inflammation. So no, peptides are not anabolic steroids, but also no, they are not harmless supplements. They are bioactive compounds that directly affect physiology. That alone means they deserve respect and caution. Let's talk about the pros. Used carefully, some peptides may offer real benefits. They can potentially support recovery, improve sleep, help with connective tissue and joint issues, and allow certain lifters to train more consistently. That's why they appeal especially to older lifters, or injured lifters, or people already training at a high level. Those benefits are real, but they're incremental, not foundational. And that distinction matters more than people want to admit. Let's talk about the cons. That part that usually gets glossed over. Peptides are still relatively new in widespread bodybuilding use. That means long-term human data is limited. Closing protocols are still evolving. Side effects vary dramatically between individuals, and stacking multiple peptides often move faster than the research. Any compound that alters biological signaling can downstream consequences. And this is where a principle often associated with Mike Mentzer becomes relevant. You know, if a drug truly had no side effects, it would probably have no meaningful effect either. Effectiveness always comes with trade-offs. The only question is whether the trade-offs make sense for your situation. Here is where the majority of people go wrong. They treat peptides as a replacement instead of a multiplier. They don't fix poor training structure. They don't address excessive volume. They don't improve sleep habits. They don't clean up inconsistent nutrition. From a high-intensity, heavy-duty perspective, that's backwards. If training isn't precise, if recovery isn't respected, and if nutrition isn't disciplined, no peptide in the world is going to fix that. All it does is mask problems and delay consequences. So let me be very clear about the actual position I have. I'm not anti-peptide, I'm anti-illusion. If someone is already training intelligently, recovering properly, and eating consistently, and respecting rest and recovery, then peptides may offer a small, targeted benefit. But if someone is chasing shortcuts, trying to compensate for poor fundamentals, or assuming not a steroid means risk-free, they're not optimizing, they're gambling. And biology always collects interest. Just because something is trending doesn't mean it's understood. Just because something isn't a steroid doesn't mean it's harmless. And just because something works short-term doesn't mean it's cost-free long-term. Train first, recover second, optimize last. That was true decades ago, and it is true now. And will still be true long after the next miracle compound shows up. Train to high intensity weight.
You want the truth? You never train with truth. intensity training is the truth.